it did. It kind of had a little Perot feel to it. Agatha Christie, a little bit of the humor, and a little bit of Benny Hill.
This was like somebody lit the snail on fire, threw it in.
Wow, that's a burn. Hi, I'm Teresa. Welcome to Cocoon Cast, where we deep dive into movies and discuss all things cinema.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. Today we'll be discussing the new movie, Wicked Little Letters. Ooh.
Yeah, it already starts off kind of creepy. Let's get started.
Edith Swan has been receiving some particularly shocking mail, and she thinks she knows who did it. Her neighbor and one-time friend, Rose Gooding. With pressure from her family to bring Rose to justice, Edith makes a formal complaint. However, once the local police bring the attention of the mass media, the letter starts to multiply in mailboxes all over town, creating a mass hysteria over its contents and those involved with them.
I'm afraid to read my mail.
You should be.
I was excited for this movie. We've seen the trailers. It looked pretty funny.
The mystery of the obscene little Hampton letter is causing widespread distress across the nation.
It looks pretty cheeky, yeah.
Yeah, it's cheeky, based on a true story.
True, unfiltered, uncensored story.
Edith Swan takes it up the and she loves it more than Christmas Day.
Only words matter.
She sucks 10 a week minimum. Holy heavens.
In the end, I think it's just jealousy.
I do wonder, because they were saying, right, they didn't have a lot of information on certain parts of it. So there are parts you kind of go, maybe they kind of did a little artistic license, a few liberties.
What's the evidence?
Similarities in the language.
Yeah, I think I was more excited. I think, part of our team was more excited. I think you're leading the charge for the less excited part of our team.
Yeah.
But you love Olivia Colman.
In prison, Rose may find some kindred spirits. In prison? No, not the murderers or the rapists. I'm thinking more the drunks and the queers, maybe.
I do love Olivia Colman. She's fantastic.
Let's talk about the movie.
I was underwhelmed.
Ooh. Out of the gate or as it went on?
As it went on.
Oh, it unfolded, and what happened with you? Were you like going, not as funny as I thought? Or
not as funny as I thought. I was just looking for some more snappy dialogue. I was looking for some more bantering, blistering back and forth. We talk about the snail burn here, right?
Oh, yeah, right. Explain to our cinema community the snail burn.
The snail burn is our term at Cocoon Cast for it's not just a slow burn, it's going extra long. It's a snail burn. This was like somebody lit the snail on fire, threw it in.
Wow, that's a burn. That poor snail, he's not even avoiding the salt. He's like, I'm avoiding the matches. Wow. It was that slow.
Yeah, dumpster down the street, snail on fire, slow.
Wow. I agree with you that it wasn't as snappy of dialogue as it could have been. However, and to me, that was the beginning. But toward the end, it was just back and forth and back and forth.
I think you've been set up, Rose. Is there anyone who'd want to do such a thing?
Have you got a pen and paper?
I will caution our cinema community, though, truly, this is an R-rated movie for a reason. The language in these letters, you don't want to be reading these letters.
Nobody swears like that.
What would you say?
You look like Queen Victoria shoved up her. You daft old.
But it's funny. Okay, so the dialogue, did the story intrigue you? Meaning...
The story moved me. There's definitely some character conflicts that really was like, oh, good. We're getting to the meat of a good movie. And then it was just like...
Oh, deflate, huh?
Yeah.
Oh... I felt there was some suspense about who was writing the letters, even though they pinned it on Rose out of the gate. They said, oh, nope, it's Rose. It's her.
Rose Gooding, who allegedly harassed a pretty young Christian woman.
I felt like there's only two suspects.
Well, and the first one, I know honestly, it was funny because the movie had come out and our team was the only in the theater that night because we go, of course, crazy late, right? It was funny because we all kind of looked at each other and we're like, it's this person. And it was kind of consensus of, all the hands were like, yeah, that's the person. And there was some suspense around that.
I want to feel kind of the noose tightening around the character of Rose. That's the person who's being accused of sending these letters.
Correct.
I want to feel Edith, that is Olivia Colman's character, kind of wrestle with this moral conflict of, do I turn this person in? Do I bring this to more attention? Do I make this about myself? I want to feel these things. And in the opening scenes, you really get a sense of that. But halfway through the movie, you just start to lose empathy for these characters. You're like, oh, yeah, I guess this is happening. Oh, I guess that happened. Is that happening? Oh, okay, plot, whatever.
Oh, wow. The actress Jessie Buckley played Rose Gooding, who was, the primary suspect, if you will. Are you saying you weren't feeling a lot of empathy toward her or Olivia Colman's character, Edith, or just kind of everybody? You were just kind of like, well.
I was just kind of like, bleh, okay, there's a movie. I paid like $5 for it. Might as well watch it. That's not a good feeling.
No, it's not.
The acting is good, though.
The acting is good. And the dialogue I actually thought was pretty snappy. The casting I thought was good.
I just wish it could have... We were talking on Monkey Man about how you wanted it to be a more tightly edited movie, right?
Yes.
And you were looking for more humor. Ironically, that was the complaint I had with this movie.
Less violence, so I will say. And I was going to say only one person kind of dropped dead, spoiler alert. But they weren't, somebody wasn't coming after them or anything. The cinematography I enjoyed. What about you?
There was one scene where you see Edith kind of in this central moment of contemplation. And any other cinematographer, I think, would have moved the bed frame out of the way. But literally, it's covering up part of Edith's face. And it's not like an artistic choice. It's like, this is literally in her face and you couldn't adjust it for this one scene. That's distracting.
Cinematography should not be distracting. It should be enhancing. It should be telling the story.
I very much enjoyed the music in this film.
I did too. It was Isabel Waller-Bridge, and we know her sister was in the Indiana Jones movie we'd seen, the more recent one, The Dial of Destiny.
And Fleabag.
Oh, right.
I love Fleabag.
Honestly, the music stood out to me as being really powerful, but as I think we agree, I think I enjoyed the movie far more than you did. Do we have any questions from the box?
Teresa, you said you enjoyed the movie, you think, more than Rebecca. Why? What did you enjoy about the movie?
One aspect which we hadn't covered yet is this is a true story, which I love true stories. I think the way that it was told was in the best possible way, meaning it was British, it was funny, it was snappy. I think Rebecca talks about the slow burn or the snail burn. This was a slower burn to me. But to me, the pacing was good. There was a subplot around the woman police officer, and that's like a whole storyline right there.
A woman police officer. Oh, look, flying pig.
That was good. I liked that.
And I liked all the supporting characters. I know you always talk about, the supporting person. And there's some of the supporting characters, they were more minor. And I literally would go, what's their name? But they were all friends of Edith. And I can still remember them. I can still remember their storyline and how they contributed. And I think it came together very cohesively. I didn't feel like there was any plot holes in the movie. There was a small courtroom scene.
Why would I send a letter when I can just say it?
And honestly, I cared about all the characters. You're like, It even Rose, when she was, out to be the baddie, I still liked her character. She loved her daughter, and that was very sweet.
I think the most interesting character is probably Police Detective Moss.
If you meddle in my case, these will be on your wrists.
I feel like
I liked her.
Anjana really stole the show on this one.
I was surprised at that. And not that she can't do it, but I was surprised at how invested I was in her. And she was very funny. Definitely a dry wit, and it was cute. Do we have any other questions from the box?
To help our cinema community, maybe think of some shows or movies that if they like those shows or movies, they're probably going to like this.
I know for me, the thing that stuck out was not just because Olivia Colman's in it.
I like you, Rose, and I'd like to bring you to the light.
But also kind of reminded me of The Favourite. It was like, here's that tit for tat energy.
I can't see why they think it's me. Some of the Virgin making history here. I was a bit roisterous once or twice.
It's like a trapdoor to hell opens up everywhere you tread.
That you really start to see these characters develop into people and almost become like these worse versions of themselves.
To me, it's a terrible example probably, but it's kind of Agatha Christie meets Benny Hill.
Oh, okay. No, I can
probably not quite as wacky and crazy, but it kind of has that feel to it where it's like silly and snappy and but there is some suspense that's happening.
I don't think I remember Agatha Christie calling somebody, what was the tart phrase?
Oh, the foxy tart?
Oh.
Well, and that was the tame version.
That was the censored version.
That was the censored version. But it kind of had a little Perot feel to it. Agatha Christie, a little bit of the humor, and a little bit of Benny Hill.
What would your husband think?
My husband isn't alive, Ray, so he's not thinking a great deal.
Just saying. Rebecca, it is that time of the show. We have 5 moths, and they're kind of afraid because they don't think you like them this week.
Nope.
What do you think? 1 to 5, how would you rate it?
I'm going to stick about 2 and a wing of them with my poison pen.
Oof. All right. It's an average movie on your end. Number 1 reason.
I was only invested in part of this movie when this movie made me care about it. There's only one character that I was like solidly following the whole way through, no interruptions, intensely focused on them.
1 note movie.
And there are simply too many notes.
All right, 1 to 5. They like me more this week, I'll tell you that much. I would say for me it is a 3 and a wing.
Number 1 reason why.
I know, I hear that you're trying to learn such things. I thought the acting was great. I thought the script was good. It could have been better, sure. I don't disagree with that. But as you said, I was invested in the characters. And as you said, I'm invested in one character. I was invested in all the characters. And the icing on the cake is this is a true story. And to me, it's interesting because, you know, these letters are so scandalous, but the motivation of where they came from the person they ultimately, you know, identify as the person who penned these letters. To me, that was intriguing. That's above an average to me because it didn't have to be that. They could just say, oh, here's who did it. Oh boy, check out those letters. It's here's why this person was writing them and this is what was happening for them. That I appreciated. Most, you know, typical movies don't necessarily go into that.
I agree. The journey that character took was very satisfying in the end, but you had to slog through the movie to get through there.
Wow. But the best thing, you know, they had an epilogue. Yay!
They did. And it was 3 sentences. Do better, George Clooney.
Yeah, right. No kidding. George Clooney. It was so anticlimactic at the end and its photo finish and things, but it was so... And then you're thinking, okay, there's going to be an epilogue, 8 guys on the team, the little coxswain guy that's going, okay, we're going down the boat. I'm waiting for something at the end, and the lights go on. We wait till the end. We literally sit to the end. Nothing. It was... Truly, George Clooney, I am so disappointed in George Clooney. I like George Clooney. Rebecca, I think I like this movie more than you. I think it's worth a watch. I think it's worth going to the theater, even though it's a little bit harder to find. It's starting to find its wings. It's starting to go out in the theaters. What do you think?
Moth puns aside, I think this is a skip it, stream it, and stick it with your favorite scone.
Oh, alrighty then.
I know I wasn't the biggest fan of this movie, but I know that there's people in our cinema community that are going to love this movie. So please comment below. And also, what's your favorite British mystery movie?
Ooh. I like the movie. Please comment below, cinema community. Thanks for joining us. We're always excited to create experiences to bring our cinema community together.
Watch the notifications for a review of the new movie Monkey Man on our weekly show, Movies and More, where we will have more movie reviews, the latest Hollywood news, and commentary with snark, meant to amuse.
Please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps us out, and share our channel with your friends.
If you enjoyed this movie review, you might click the link to check out our review of the Coen Brothers classic True Grit, or click the other link to watch last week's show, where we review the William Shatner documentary, You Can Call Me Bill.
Remember, cinema community movies are better together. Thanks for watching. See you in the next review.